Man. All right, family. Welcome back to yet another Sabbath lesson. Today we will be doing Genesis 5. Now I know if you've read Genesis 5, y'all look at it, just a bunch of names. This man had this son. This man had this son, lived to this age and he died. Lived in this age and he died. Lived in this age and he died. That's what y'all see. That's what the heathen see. It's just a genealogy chapter. But I'm going to show you today how this affects you. I'm going to show you. Because this line that the Most High is focused on in this chapter leads up to you. Christ talked about it, or Luke talked about it in his genealogy of Christ. All these names that we're going to read will all lead up, as you continue in this book, all the way up to the Messiah. Most High only focused on one line. These people you're going to see had other daughters and sons besides these ones that the Most High is paying attention to. But the Most High is only focused on one line. That's the sovereignty of the Most High Yah. He ain't looking at everybody. He ain't looking at all their daughters and sons that they have. He's looking at them as a whole. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So without further ado, my Hebrew brother, would you read verses 1 and 2 for me, please?
This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them and blessed them. And he called their name Adam in the day when they were created.
So y'all see all of this right there? It's all right there. Right there. We're seeing it now. This is the generations of Adam. But which one? Which generation is he talking about? You talking about all people? No, family. This is your generation. He's leading down your family tree. He ain't going down everybody else's family tree. These other nations, yeah, he made all people, yes. But the Most High only focused on one. He told you that all over this book. He only knows one people. So when he says these generations, he ain't talking about everybody. And this is what I want to get you guys to understand. This is what I want y'all to understand. This book is talking about you. This is your generations. This ain't nobody else's generation. This is all about you. And I'm trying to get you guys to understand that. Too many people in this book thinking about everybody, but it's not. It's not. And we're gonna find out about that. Right? This is what we're gonna do. So first off, it's not a bedtime story, folks, because that's what people use Genesis as a nice little bedtime story. But it's a family tree, family. A divine registry, if you will, of who? The chosen lineage. The blueprint of the chosen line through which the Most High would work his purposes. That's who the Most High talking about. Adam here is representing the beginning of a divine saga that directly connects to Israel, our forefathers, who carried the covenant promises from times of old. We're not just some random folks, family. We're a part of the divine narrative. So when the Most High is saying in that day that God created man in the likeness of God, made he him, this doesn't mean that the Most High stamped a physical photocopy of his divine self onto us. No, this is about spiritual likeness. The ability to what? Embody divine attributes. That's what the Most High is talking about. Spirit, justice, mercy, and righteousness. And we can read this if we go to Leviticus. Go on over to Leviticus 19 and 2. And see how the Most High made us to be. Again, Leviticus 19 and 2.
Speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, ye shall be holy, for I am the Lord your God, am holy.
This is our call in Israel, to reflect his holiness. We are a mirror. That's who we are. We are a mirror. the remnant who are awakened in this truth today, we are a mirror to our brethren to show the likeness of our Creator so that they, our lost brethren, can come to the truth. And then when the Most High gets back and we on top again, that mirror is going to be shown to the world. Then they're going to see our Creator and they're going to come to us to learn. That's what it's about, family. We are a mirror. Thinking about it, it's like finding out you're related to the inventor of peanut butter in a world full of jelly. That's how important you are. All this jelly around, but you peanut butter. That's how special you are. Male and female created, he, them. Here's a clear-cut blueprint of creation, defining roles and unity from the start. It's not about oppressive narratives like a lot of these camps try to prove, or outdated roles, but about divine order and balance. Just like if we go to Ephesians 5:23 real quick, to see what this balance is, to see how the Most High made this order. Again, that's Ephesians 5:23.
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body.
So family, it's about leadership, responsibility, and mutual respect. Qualities heavily needed in our communities today. I mean, just look around. Have you seen this place? Have you seen our communities? Have you seen how our women act? Have you seen how our men act? Have you seen how our children act? Where is the leadership? Where is the responsibility? Who's being held accountable? Nobody's being held accountable. Everybody blaming everybody else. Where is the respect? No respect. Everybody going at each other's heads. No respect, no nothing, which is why we are in the rut we are in today. Why we are on the bottom in all countries we are in, because we can't get these three things together. The Most High created an order, but guess what? We want to be out of order. That's what we thrive in as a people. We thrive in chaos. We love sin. We love it. You can't tell our people nothing about being righteous. They want to sin. So the Most High goes on and says, and blessed them and called their name Adam. See, their name Adam in the day when they were created. This, my people, is where it gets profound. They both carried the name Adam because they were one unit, one flesh. Remember, male and female come together, create one flesh. That's the marriage covenant, which symbolizes what? Our collective responsibility as Israel to uphold the covenant. Just like Adam was tasked with tending the garden and obeying the Most High's commandments. But guess what happened? He didn't do that. So it's about our legacy and our duty as God's chosen people to be stewards and light bearers in a world that has lost its way. The symbolism here, Adam, or red, from the earth, signifies our humble origins and reminds us of our earthly duties and divine destiny. We came out the ground, right? So we as Israel are to remember our roots, stay grounded in our identity, and rise in our divine purpose. Are you humble or are you elevated off the ground? Which one are you? So let me holler at you real quick. Are you, people who are listening to my voice right now, are you living up to your divine image? Are you reflecting the Most High's likeness in your communities, families, and daily walks? Or are you caught up in the chaos like our other people, forgetting your royal lineage and holy calling? Do not let these heathen misinterpretations lead you astray. We're not just any people. We're the Israelites. chosen, called, and destined to reclaim and live out our heritage. Think on that, family. Are you living like Adam, the name bearer, duty fulfiller, and covenant keeper? Or are you just another face in the crowd, lost and disconnected from your true identity? So I implore you to keep it righteous, keep it tight, and most importantly, keep it Israelite. I like that rhyme, by the way. That was all me. All praises. But let's go on to the next three chapters, or the next three verses, 3 through 5, brother. Genesis 5, to get more into this.
And Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness. After his image, he called his name Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died.
All right, family. So let's slice and dice these verses up real quick, like it's a barbecue at a family reunion where everybody's trying to figure out who made the potato salad. You ever been at the family reunion trying to figure out who made the potato salad? I don't know why it's a thing in our community, but I figure I threw it in there. I figure y'all knew about it. So let's uncover these hidden gems and slap away any heathen nonsense with the truth straight from our Israelite heritage. So we begin with verse 3. Adam lived 130 years, begat a son in his own likeness after his image, and called his name Seth. Now pay attention, family. Adam, who was our OG ancestor here, didn't just pop out kids willy-nilly. He had Seth at 130 years old. Talk about long-term planning. But peep the real deal here. In his own likeness, after his own image. This ain't about Adam cloning himself in the lab, family. This is about character, about passing down those divine qualities and responsibility. Seth's name means appointed or compensation. So after Abel got whacked by his not-so-loving brother Cain, as we read last week, Seth was like the spiritual rebound, the restoration plan. It's like when you lose your favorite pair of Jordans and then you find an even better pair on sale. That's Seth for Adam. Let's go back to the previous chapter and read chapter 4, verse 25 to see this. Genesis 4 and 25.
And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God said, she hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew.
Right there, appointed. Appointed. Like his name implies. So it continues. Verse 4. In the days of Adam, after he had begotten Seth, were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. See, right there, he had more kids. People keep on asking, where did Cain get his wife from? Well, I'm telling you right here. He had more kids. He didn't just have the one kid, family. He had more kids, sons and daughters. This is where Cain got his wife from. To all the people out there focused on that. This is where he got it from. But the Most High was only focused on this particular son right here. So Adam wasn't done yet. After Seth, he kept the family tree sprouting, adding more branches with these sons and daughters. This man was like the biblical version of a baby-making factory. But here's the kicker. Each of these kids were taught the ways of the Lord. Why? Because that's what he was appointed to do. That's what Adam was to do, to teach them about the Most High. And he lived for 930 years. And then he died. That's a long time, family. We ain't living like that today. We ain't living like that today. Now, don't just skim over this, like the terms and conditions on a software update. No. 930 years, this man had centuries under his belt. And in that time, he spread more than just his genetic code. He spread knowledge, wisdom, and the foundation of future generations. And when he died, it wasn't just a funeral. It was a passing of an era, the closing of a divine chapter meant to set the stage for all of Israel's history. Now imagine today if folks had the stamina of Adam, they could live that long. Imagine if they did. Most people can't even handle a 2-hour movie without checking their phones. I'm guilty. Adam lived 930 years spreading divine knowledge, and we got folks who can't spread anything but gossip and nonsense on social media. Y'all know about this. If Adam had Twitter, his tweets wouldn't be about what he ate for breakfast, but about how to live righteously for centuries. And let's be real, family. In today's quick fix society, where patience is thinner than a dollar store napkin, we need that Seth energy, that spirit of being appointed to restore what's been lost in the frenzy. We need to reclaim that legacy of longevity, not just in years, but in impactful, meaningful living. So what's the takeaway from these verses, family? What am I trying to get you to understand? Don't just live. Live with purpose. Don't just have kids. Raise them in righteousness. Don't just count your days. Make your days count. Be like Adam, not like these fleeting Instagram influencers who are famous for being famous. Be famous in heaven for being faithful on earth. This is what I'm trying to communicate to you. Chew on that, family. Are you living like Adam and Seth? Or are you just waiting to turn to dust? So we got to get it together, family. And let's get back to our roots, literally and spiritually. As a people, we got to do it. This is what we got to do. We can't just keep on being lackadaisical and just floating from one day to the next. We got to make sure each day counts. Are you reading your word? Have you improved in your walk with Yah today? Those should be the things you should be focused on throughout each day. Am I improving my walk? Will doing this improve my walk with Yah? Or will it detract from it? Will this improve my relationship with Yah or take away from it? These are the things you should be thinking about before you do anything in life. Anything. Is this going to get me closer to God or farther from God? But do we do that? No. We allow our flesh to take the wheel and be in cruise control. And next thing you know, you're doing stuff that you should be doing. You're hanging out with people you shouldn't be hanging out with. So the Most High implores you as Israelites, as his chosen people, to what? To get closer to him. Block out the world. Yes, we got to live in this thing, but you don't got to be a part of it. I ain't telling you to go live like a hermit. No, sir. But I'm telling you to make your relationship with the Most High a priority and not put it on the back burner like the rest of our people do. So again, I ask, are you living like Adam and Seth? Or are you just scrolling through life? Don't just tweet about change, be the change. Don't just snap pics of your food, feed your spirit. Get up, get wise, and get building like Adam did. Make those days count and leave behind more than just a bunch of selfies. So are we builders or are we just bystanders? It's time for you to decide, family. No more sitting on the fence. You got to choose. You got to choose. Which one are you going to be today? You going to be on the left side? You going to be on the right side? Which one? These are the things I want you to think about. These are the things that should be going into your mind every day and not just going through the day on autopilot. You got to be thinking on these things, meditating on these things each and every day, because you don't know if that day could be your last. You don't know when your last breath will be. So you better hope that last breath is for Yah and not for you. So let's dive right back into this. And we're going to go through verses 6 to 8.
And Seth lived 105 years and begot Enos. And Seth lived after he begot Enos 807 years and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died.
There we go. So let's slice through these verses here, like a hot knife through butter. So we're going to layer this breakdown with scripture after scripture, stacking bricks to build a fortress of understanding. So let's get at it. Verse 6, Seth lived 105 and begat Enos. Seth, just like his old man Adam, didn't waste much time. At 105 years young, he brings Enos into the world. Now, Enos means mortal man or sickly. Now, this might sound like a downer, but it's a reminder of our human condition post-Edom. We mortal. We fell from grace. We're mortal. We're sickly. We're going to die. We're not in paradise anymore, folks. We're in the grind, facing the reality of our mortality each and every day. Y'all see it. Y'all go to work and have to go through the grind every day. Got to deal with all these heathen and all these other people who you don't want to deal with. You got to do that. You got to maneuver around all these different obstacles and everything like that to live. Most High showing you, you mortal now. That's what these names are. Most High didn't just pick these names out of thin air. They mean something. But let's see what Enos was about. If we go to back a chapter 4, verse 26, let's see what he brought into the world.
And to Seth, to him also, there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then men began to call upon the name of the Lord.
Right here, family, this is key right here. It was under Enos' generation that folks really started to get serious about calling on the Most High. It's like when you hit rock bottom and you finally realize you need to dial up that divine help. Like, hey, we can't do this. Where you at, God? Very important right here, because these are going to be your sons of God in the next chapter. Right here, men. These are your sons of God in the next chapter. After this lineage here with Seth, these are your sons of God. Most High had a standard for them for how to live. But we'll get into that next week. But we're just going to keep on with these. So Seth lived 807 years after he begat Enos. And he had more people, more kids. As you can see, family, these people have more other children, but the Most High only focused on one. You see the divine selection here? You see the sovereignty of the Most High Yah? He know about all them other kids, but he's like, no, I want this one. It's going to be for me. Isn't that what Israel is to him? He chose us, family. The Most High chose us. We didn't choose him, he chose us. Deuteronomy 7:6. Let's remind the people again. Just like he chose these, he's choosing these seeds here. Look how it automatically culminates here in Deuteronomy 7:6.
It says, for thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So you see, like with Seth and with Enos and with all the people that come after them that we're going to read about, he chose them. They had all these other sons. They had all these other brothers and sisters. But the Most High said, I only want this one here. Same thing with Jacob and Esau. Same thing with Isaac. Abraham had more than one son, but the Most High said, I only choose you. The Most High is only focused on one people. But you got everybody else saying, oh, the Most High love everybody. But what I'm seeing here is that's not indicative of that. I see the Most High singling out people. If the Most High is for everybody, then why isn't everybody getting chosen here to be a part of this lineage here? Why isn't he talking about everybody? Why isn't he naming all of the sons of Adam, all of the sons and daughters of Seth and Enos? Why isn't he naming them? Because they say he's for everybody. He's a God of everybody. But all I'm seeing here is he's choosing his own people. So that cuts all these people who saying the Most High is about everybody. He ain't. And as we continue to keep going through this book, you're going to find out he ain't for everybody. So Seth was not just a one-hit wonder with Enos. He kept the production line going. This man was determined to fill the earth with folks who could call on the Lord, despite the harsh realities of life outside Eden. Each child was another quiver or arrow in the quiver of the Most High's purposes. Let's go back to the first chapter in Genesis, verse 28, to see what these people were following here. What mandate, what commandment are they following from the Most High Yah? Genesis 1:28 will tell you.
And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
So Seth here is living out this divine mandate, making sure that even in a fallen world, the mission must go on. And that same mission is to you. But what are people doing with this mission? Failing. Bringing up bastard children. All these children. No daddy in the house. No nothing. Where's the righteousness in the kids? The kids are more rebellious each generation. More rebellious than the previous one. Because there's no order. We just bringing in kids just to bring in kids. For what reason? What's the purpose? I've told you guys, you must live your life with purpose. What is your purpose for bringing in another child? The Most High wants you to bring in righteous seed. He's looking for a godly seed. How do we know this? Let's go to Malachi 2:15. To see the Most High. To see what he's looking for. What is he looking for? Malachi 2:15 will tell you exactly what the Most High wants.
And did not he make one? Yet had he the residue of the Spirit, and wherefore one, that he might seek a godly seed. Therefore take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth.
The Most High looking for a righteous seed. Here it is in another translation. That'll make more sense. It says, didn't God create you to become like one person with your wife? Singular, singular, singular. And why did he do this? It was so you would have children and then lead them to become God's people. But are we doing that today, Israelites? Are we leading our children to God? No, we're not. We're perpetuating the same old BS each generation. Babies having babies. Are we bringing our kids to God? Are we doing this? No, we're not. We're failing. And that's why the Most High keeps taking out your kids. He don't want them. He throwing them in the trash. I know it sounds harsh, but that's what he's doing. That's why the Most High is killing all these dang on kids all over the place. He don't want them. Because you bringing in kids without a purpose. You just bringing them in. Most of our women nowadays are just bringing in kids so they can get a bigger welfare check or get on child support. It's a hustle. They're not bringing in kids to lead them to God. They're bringing in kids to increase their monetary value. What? You think the Most High is happy with this? Men out there just sleeping with all the women. For what reason? What is the purpose? Are you doing it like the way the Most High wants you to do it? Or are you only doing it for your own lust, your own fleshly reasons? I believe it's the latter. When are we going to understand as a people? When are we going to learn this? When are we going to get it through our thick skulls, Israel? This is not what the Most High mandated. This is not what he wants for us. We are supposed to be different than the people around us. Why are we acting just like them? And even then, some of the other people are being a little bit more righteous than us. They're bringing in kids in two-parent households. They're raising their kids righteously. Why can't we do this and we the Most High's people? Why are we so backwards? The Most High is showing you how it's supposed to be done here in this Genesis 5. He's showing you, he's giving you the blueprint for how you're supposed to do it, Israel. It's about nation building. It ain't about satisfying your lust. It's about bringing up a righteous generation so they can bring on another righteous generation after them, and so on and so forth. But we ain't doing that. We lost it. We lost the mission. We lost it. We just having sex to have sex. Fornicating to fornicate. That's why the STDs are going up. That's why the Most High has multiplied, made them more powerful. Now you can't even cure some of these anymore. That used to be cured. The Most High has mutated them to get our people to, hey, stop doing that. But will our people listen? No, they won't. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. Sad stuff, fam. I witnessed it. I lived in this stuff. But this is what it's all about. I'm giving you the blueprint. I'm giving you the way. How the Most High wanted to be done. The righteous way. Not our way, his way.
No, not grass.
So Seth lives to 912. That's a long time, fam. A lot of time for him to make a mark, and he sure did. His death, like Adam's, marks again another end of an era, but also the continuation of a legacy through his offspring. Now he living through Enos now. This is what the Most High wants us to do. Leave a legacy, a righteous legacy to live on. In this world of wickedness, we got to make our mark. So if we go over to Hebrews 11 and 13. It's going to reflect this legacy mindset I'm talking about. Hebrews 11 and 13 here.
Let us go forth, therefore, unto him without the camp, bearing his reproach.
Hebrews 11 and 13.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good, bro.
That was 13.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said camp so much. I don't know.
I don't know what you going on that one.
Yeah. No biggie. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
Mm-mm-mm. They have faith. This is the model that we're supposed to have. Abraham, all of them. Paul, all the disciples, all the prophets, all the way up here. That's what we're reading today. They all had the faith, and they died before they could receive the promise. So like Seth, he lived and died in faith, looking forward to what was promised, setting a pattern for future generations. And that's how we're supposed to be, family. We don't know we're going to be alive. If Most High come back, we don't know. We don't know. We don't got no time. There's no clock counting us down. We don't know. No one does. But guess what? If we do have to die before he come back, guess what? You better die with faith. Because that's going to seal your spirit to be a part of this first resurrection. The first resurrection. That's what we're going towards. That's what your mission should be. Going to that. That is where we're going to receive our promises. So have the faith. You may have to die before he come back. It is what it is. But you have faith, just like all those before you. So imagine if we all live like Seth, Israel, not just clocking in days, but making each day count towards a heavenly goal. That's what the Most High wants you to do. Today, we're surrounded by distractions that make 912 minutes feel long, let alone 912 years. But are we building? Are we just binge watching our way through life, or are we producing something of eternal value? If Seth could focus on God's plan for over 900 years, what's our excuse? We got all this technology and still can't find time to pray. Come on. Time to get serious, Israel, just like they did in Enos' days. No more playing sickly. It's time to call upon the Most High. So let that marinate. Are we just living, or are we living with purpose? Time to check our spiritual pulse and get to walking like Seth. We got to walk like him. Purposeful living. That's the message. If you don't get anything out of this message today, purposeful living. No more wasting time. Each second counts. Live a life of purpose for the Most High Yah, and he will reward you in the end. We've read about it. You know what comes at the end, but you got to make it there first. You can't get lazy. You got to keep walking. You got to keep moving. So how about us? Keep it moving. Verses 9 through 11, brother. Let's keep it going.
9 through 11.
Yes, sir.
And Enos lived 90 years and begot Canaan. And Enos lived after he begot Canaan 815 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enos were 905 years, and then he died.
So here comes Enos, not lagging too far behind his pop Seth, dropping his own offspring Canaan into the mix at the ripe young age of 90. To them, it was young. Canaan's name means possession or acquirer. Think about that, family. In a world spiraling away from Eden's memory, here's a brother named for gaining, holding on to something worthwhile in a fleeting world. And if we go and turn our books to Ecclesiastes 2:26, it gives us a peek into this mindset that I just talked about. Again, that's Ecclesiastes 2:26.
For God giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom and knowledge and joy. But to the sinner he giveth travail to gather and to heap upon, that he may give to him that is good before God. This also is vanity and vexation of spirit.
Now, I know that might sound a little bit choppy. So let me give it to you in modern terms, family. Another translation here. It's always good to have other translations. Watch this and tell me if this don't resonate with you. It says, if we please God, he will make us wise, understanding, and happy. But if we sin, God will make us struggle for a living. Then he will give all we own to someone who pleases him. This makes no more sense than chasing the wind. Does that resonate with you, family? You want to know why we struggling for a living? Because we sinned. You want to know why we on the bottom everywhere? Because we sinned. You want to know why you can't do nothing in life? Because you sinned. But look what it says. If you please him, he will make you wise, understanding, and happy. Don't you guys feel that feeling when you came back? You repented of all the crap you used to do. You stopped doing it. Has not the Most High made you wise, understanding, and most of all, happy? Has he not done that for you, family? He's done it for me. I'm in bliss. I'm on cloud 9 over here. I live in the most boring state I've ever lived in my whole life. But I'm living in cloud 9. I'm in perfect bliss, harmony with Most High Yah over here. Nothing bothers me. Right off my back. Boom. He's made me wise in this book. Understanding. I couldn't do that by myself. And it's why? Because I please him. How do you please the Most High Yah? By doing what he say. Very simple. Are you doing what he say? Then you are pleasing him. And he will give you wisdom, understanding, and happiness. But if not, he's going to make you struggle for a living. And boy, are we struggling. That's all we hear about. How come people complaining about? Man, I'm struggling, man. Man, I want none of that struggle, love. That's struggling, man. I'm good on that. I'm struggling. And then he says, I'm going to take your money and give it to somebody else that please him. So you had all that time making all that money. And the Most High going to take all that money you made and give it to somebody else. Whoops. Spend all that time sinning only to have all your stuff given away. Woo. Purposeful living, family. So you can keep your stuff. So you can receive things from the Most High Yah, blessings from him. This is what he wants. So Canaan's very existence is a testament to the ongoing effort here to claim and retain godly heritage. Remember, he's part of this line here. Even when Earth's lease on paradise had long expired, he was holding on to it, family. Are you holding on to your godly heritage? Are you holding on to these commandments? Are you holding on in a world that can give a crap about the Most High Yah? Are you holding on? This is what it's saying. It's a blueprint for how this whole thing here, this entire chapter, all these people's lives, the names that they mean. These are all blueprints of how we're supposed to live today. It's not just a history book. It's not just a genealogy thing. It's a blueprint for how the modern Israelite is supposed to live. Are you living like Seth? Are you living like Enos? Are you living like Canaan? You're living like Adam. He's giving you a whole blueprint, this whole chapter. Most people just breeze past this chapter. Oh man, it's boring. It's boring. Blah, blah, blah. Breeze right on through it, not knowing what it means. But all praise and great glory to the Most High Yah. He's given me this wisdom. to impart on you. Now you got to take what I'm saying and apply it to yourself, your life, your kids, your communities. This is how you shine, family. The Most High teaching you how to shine. He's teaching you how to shine with these patriarchs here. He's teaching you how to do it, giving you a step-by-step breakdown. So Enos lived after he begat Canaan 815 years. And guess what he did? He had more sons and daughters. You're starting to see a pattern here. All these sons and daughters, they're repopulating, they're doing what the Most High told them to do, but the Most High's like, nope, I'll pick this one. I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to pick that one. I'm going to pick this one right here. He ain't focused on nobody else. This is how special you are, Israel. I'm trying to tell you. So Enos wasn't done. After Canaan, he kept the factory running for another 815 years. Talk about endurance. This man was a spiritual marathon runner, continually adding to the ranks of those who would call upon the Lord. And if we go to Psalm 127, 3-5, this emphasizes the value of a quiver full of these children, this offspring here. Again, that is Psalm 127, 3-5. This is how you're supposed to think about your kids. Right here. What does the Most High say about kids, brother?
It says, lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are the children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate.
Woo! Children are supposed to make you powerful. They are reward from the Most High Yah. But what are we doing with the reward? We squandering it. Most of our people don't even raise their kids anymore. They let TV and Netflix do it. Put them in front of the iPad all day, that's it. Because they don't want the responsibility of raising their own children. So they spitting in the face of the Most High Yah. You spit in his face when you do this. Here he's giving you all these kids a reward. Bless you with kids, because most people don't have them. Bless you with kids. But you're not treating them as rewards. You're treating them as a nuisance. Most people hate their kids. I've seen it. They talk about them all over social media. Man, I hate having kids. They're annoying. They're always in my hair. Craziness. Spitting in the face of the Creator. He gave you these kids. And you're like, man, F these kids. We're supposed to be following this blueprint that the Most High is giving us. Teaching, leading them to him. So we can have more people in his army. Because family, it's finna get rough out here. We gonna need an army. We need to have an army. We need to have brethren out there fighting for the Lord. Because these people are going to get crazy. But yet, you are raising them to fight for the other team. How does that make sense? It doesn't make sense, family. It doesn't. So we have to take it upon ourselves to raise our children in a way that pleases the Most High Yah. Treat them as the reward that they are. Cherish them. Hold on to them. Love them. Teach them. This is what the Most High wants us to do. This is why he's going through all of this. So Enos understood that every son and daughter could be an arrow launched toward righteousness in a dark, wayward world, just like today. You send your kids out as lights to their brethren so they can bring in more people. So now you got more soldiers to fight for you, to fight for the Most High Yah. This is what he wants us to do, family. You either take it seriously or move to the side. Most High don't got no use for you. He don't got no use for fence sitters. He's looking for soldiers. He's looking for people to carry on the fight, to carry on the mission. If you are not one of them, then move out the way. Make way for somebody that is about the mission, that is about furthering this army of the Most High. Respectfully move the hell out of the way. If you can't get down with the Most High business, then there is no point for you to be here. He will spew you out of his mouth. This is the truth of the matter. So Enos lived 905 years. Another one. Though less than his father Seth, each year was packed with what? Purpose. Cultivating a lineage that would continue to seek and serve the Almighty. If we go to Hebrews 9:27, it's going to remind us of this inevitability that we all going to face as men and women. Hebrews 9:27, what does it say, my brother?
And as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this, the judgment.
So Enos, like all men, met his end. Poof. But he lived in such a way that his death was just a comma in his eternal story, not a period. It lived on. Through whom? His son. Are you leaving a legacy? Now, we might not have 900 years. Heck, we might not even have 90. But what are we doing with the time we got? Enos, Seth, and the gang were about legacy, about building something that lasts longer than their lifetime. They were spiritual investors banking on eternity, not just earthly comfort. So are we collectors of worldly trinkets, or are we acquirers of spiritual treasure? Are our lives marked by divine investments, or just filled with divine interest payments? Whew. 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 That was fine. So let this simmer in your head, Israel. Are we living lives worthy of our spiritual ancestry? Or are we just passing time until time passes us? Build your legacy. Grab your possession in the Most High, like Canaan did. And live like tomorrow's not promised, because, spoiler alert, it ain't. Sorry to break that to you, it ain't. Now go ahead and marinate on that and see if it doesn't spice up your soul just a bit as we continue to 12 through 14, Genesis 5.
And Canaan lived 70 years and begat Mahalalel. And Canaan lived after he begat Mahalalel 840 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Canaan were 910 years. And then he died.
Seeing the pattern. We're seeing the pattern here. But let's get down into it. Let's get down and dirty. Let's dive into these verses like it's the last golden ticket in the chocolate bar. I know y'all know that reference. Verse 12. Canaan lived 70 years and begat Mahalalel. Woo, what a name. A lot of syllables. So Canaan here, fresh out the gate at 70, brings Mahalalel into this crazy world. Now, Mahalalel's name is not just a fancy twist of syllables. It means praise of God. Think about that significance, family. In a world still shadowed by Adam's fall, here's a man whose very name is a declaration of the divine, a shout out to the Almighty. Yet another piece of the puzzle that we're supposed to be doing. So if we go over to Psalm 150 in verse 6, it puts it plainly what I just said. Psalm 150, verse 6. What does it say, brother?
Let everything that hath breath praise the Lord. Praise ye the Lord.
Woo! By naming his son Mahalil, Canaan wasn't just filling out a birth certificate. He was making a prophetic proclamation that despite the darkness, praise shall continue to echo through their generations. You hear that, family? You raising your sons and your daughters up like this, praise will continue in this dark world we in today. This is why the Most High puts emphasis on raising up this godly seed. Despite all the darkness, despite it all, we got lights all around the world, shining through, reaching our people, bringing them into his marvelous light. That is the purpose. Most High, each name is a new step. Each name is a part of this whole thing that he wants us to be like. So are you praising the Most High, y'all? Not in mouth only, not with your mouth, but are you praising him with your actions? Because we got a whole lot of people that praise the Most High. But are they living? Are they living? Are their actions betraying them or embracing it? You can say y'all praise y'all all day, but if you're going behind the scenes doing wicked stuff, then it don't even matter. So Canaan lived after he had Mahalalel 840 years, and he had more sons and daughters. Again, the Most High only focused on this one boy. So after kickstarting Mahalalel's journey, Canaan didn't just sit back and retire. He kept on trucking for another 840 years. This man was a spiritual factory, churning out more godly seeds, ensuring that the earth was populated with folks who knew their creator. But the Most High is only focused on this one boy right here. Just like he only focused on you, Israel. Amongst all the people on this earth, he only focused on you. That's why you're going through the stuff that you're going through. They in their heaven right now. Most High focused on you. He's trying to get you right. He's trying to raise up kings and priests. This is your responsibility, men, kings and priests. We got to take the charge again, men. We've let the ball drop. And look at it, what that has done in our society, in our community. We dropped the ball, men. Now, you going to pick up the ball or you just going to let it sit there? Because we got a whole bunch of men in the truth. They just leaving the ball there. They talk a good game, but they don't want to pick up the ball. The Most High put us in charge for a reason. That was his divine order. Because it's through us that we can get our stuff together. Because if we, as men, follow suit to what I'm saying, then guess who's going to follow? The women and the children. If we men hold our standards back to godly standards, then the women and the children have nothing else to do but to fall in line. That's where it begins. That's the order. Responsibility, but nobody wants to take it. We got to be the change. We talk about change all the time. Oh, women got to do this, women got to do that. But you, sir, you have to be the change, sir. If change is to take place, then you have to be the one to kick start it. Oh, I know I'm hitting some things right now. Oh, I know I'm hitting people in the spirit right now. Men are cursing me under their breath. Oh, this nigga simp. Oh, this nigga right here. Oh, fuck that man. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I'm giving you the divine mandate, the divine order. That's what he gave. We got to be in charge. We got to do it. We got to take responsibility. Because it was us. If you go, as we read through this book, you're going to find out it was those men that messed up. When we got to the land, you're going to see who was the one that messed up. I'm just telling the truth. Whether you believe it or not, that's not up to me. I can show you the door. You're going to have to be the one to walk through it. So Canaan lived 910. And then, boo, he gone. So while modern folks are lucky to hit a century, lucky even then, this man's days were filled with purpose. There's that word again, purpose, to the brim. And if we go to James 4:14, it hits us with this reality check right here. If this don't hit your spirit, I don't know what will. James chapter 4:14. What does it say?
Whereas you not know what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanish away.
Woo! Modern translation. Watch this. It's even harder. It says, what do you know about tomorrow? How can you be so sure about your life? It is nothing more than mist that appears for only a little while before it disappears. Woo! Woo! Powerful. That's your life. What you doing with it? You think you got forever? You may not even have to the next 5 minutes. Purpose, purpose, and more purpose. Make every second count. Because I know I wasted a whole lot of time before I came in this truth. A whole lot of time. I ain't do nothing. I'm going to be straight up with you. 34 years of my life, I ain't do nothing. Nothing. I ain't make no mark. 0. Now, I've messed with a whole lot of people, broke some hearts, but I ain't leave no mark. Not one that's worthy of the Most High. No, sir. So now I got some catching up to do. I got to make up for all the inactivity that I was doing before the truth. Are y'all doing that? Some of y'all were a little bit older than me when y'all came into the truth. Are y'all catching up? Are y'all making up for lost time? Or you still wasting time again like you did before the truth? What is your mark? What are you leaving? What kind of legacy are you leaving behind? This is what the Most High wants you to know. This is why he's telling us all this stuff. You see the legacy they all live. You see it. Each kid they had was purposeful. Was perfect. There wasn't unplanned. There was no unplanned, like, no, hey, we have another kid. Hey, we're gonna have another kid. We have another one. We're gonna have another. Nope, most kids nowadays unplanned. And then when it happens, the pregnancy happens, like, you gonna keep it? This is what it is. They don't even know what to do. Scratching heads. What do we do? What do we do? But back then, they knew what they were to do. They knew what the purpose was. We lost sight of that. All these thousands of years later, we have lost sight on the purpose. But now, through this word, I'm giving you back this blueprint. I'm giving you the wisdom to understand this purpose now. Take it. Apply it to your life. Use it. Don't just cast it aside. Oh, man, I ain't care about all that. Because this is not my purpose. This is the Most High's purpose. So you're not casting anything from me. I'm giving you this as a gift from the Most High Yah. He don't have to give out this gift. He don't got to tell you nothing. He could keep you stupid. But with his grace and his mercy, he has allowed me to give you this. Now, are you going to take the gift? Or are you going to throw it in the garbage? Like you do with any type of gift you don't want. Just throw it in the garbage or give it away. Donate it. This is not my gift. This is his gift. Take it, use it, apply it. And I guarantee you, your life is going to run so smooth. It's going to be so easy. So Canaan's life here, though long by our standards, because we don't live that long no more, was still just a vapor in the wind of eternity. Yet he made it count with every breath. Every year dedicated to expanding the family of faith. Now, here's the straight talk. So I ask again, what's your legacy looking like? Are you living out a name worth recalling? Canaan and his clan weren't just passing through history. They were penning it with every action tethered to a divine purpose. Are you just breathing, or are you also blessing? Are you multiplying just your bank account, or are you multiplying believers, praisers, and doers of the word? Let that cook in your spiritual crock pot. Are we truly extending our lineage in the faith, or are we just extending the time on the Netflix subscription? Make your mark, Israel. Make it deep and make sure it echoes into eternity. Now chew on that and see if that doesn't change the flavor of your daily grind. Because like I said before, you do this purpose, your life will be blessed. The Most High will bless you. He will give you that wisdom, that understanding, and that happiness that no one can ever give you. And then guess what? No one can ever take it away. So let it marinate, family. Don't let my words go in one ear out the other. Let it sit in your spirit. Let it vibe, let it marinate, let it vibrate all throughout your spirit so you can gain the wisdom from it and apply it to your life. So let's keep it moving. We go to 15 through 17.
And Mahalalel lived 65 years and begat Jared. And Mahalalel lived after he begat Jared 830 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died.
Yet another one. Bites the dust. What did he do? So strap on your scuba gear, my esteemed Israelite family, because we're going to unearth some more gems in these verses here. So here comes Mahalalel. Mahalalel. I keep forgetting that extra syllable. 65 years young. Welcoming Jared into the world. Now, don't sleep on Jared's name. It means descent. We're talking about a lineage that's not just dropping kids left and right, but is descending deeper into their divine destiny. See, knowing all these things, it shows you. You have all these qualities, guess what? You're going to descend deeper into your destiny as an Israelite. In a time when folks could have just been kicking back, collecting years like trading cards, here's Mahalalel making moves that matter. Are you making moves that matter? Is that what you're doing? Mahalalel lived after he begot Jared another 830 years. And guess what he did? He had more sons and daughters. It's the same pattern. Most High still only just picked that one. We don't go into detail of who his sons and daughters are because the Most High ain't worried about them. He only worried about this one right here. Because this line is going to lead up to Christ. That's the only line he cares about. So he didn't call it quits after Jared. He kept the divine factory lights burning for another 830 years, crafting more souls to carry forward the covenant. Which is a testament to what? Relentless faithfulness. Pumping out progeny with purpose. Ensuring the earth isn't just full, but it is fruitful with those who honor the Most High. And if we go to Genesis 9 and 7, it doubles down on this statement. Genesis 9 and 7, what does it say, brother?
And you be ye fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply therein.
So Mahalalel took this mandate to heart as well, just like Genesis 1:28, same thing. Saturating the soil with seeds that will grow to glorify God. And he lived 895 years. So he exit stage left after he died. This brother didn't just live, family. He left a legacy, laser focused on living out the Most High's commands. And if we go to Ecclesiastes 7 and 1, it's going to remind us of this legacy that the Most High wants us to live. Again, that's Ecclesiastes 7 and 1.
A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth.
Whew, man. Boy, Solomon know how to bring it to you, huh? You know how to bring it right to you. Whew. So Mahalalel's days were drenched in dedication, delivering not just descendants, but disciples, trained in the tribute of praise and purpose. So listen up, my beautifully stubborn Israelites. What are you birthing in your lifetime? Are you producing something that'll outlive you, outshine you, and outpraise you? Mahalalel and his lineage weren't just about longevity. They were about legacy, spiritual, significant, and sanctified. So family, are we just marking time or are we making marks? Are we descendants of Mahalalel indeed, not just in DNA? Are our lives a ladder to the heavenly or just a loop of the mundane? Let that marinate, let it motivate, and by all means, let it manifest in your mission. Israel, it is time to check your spiritual birth certificates. Are we truly descendants of the divine, or are we just descendants of dust? So I say it's time for you to rise, shine, and show the strength of your stock. Chew on that. And let it transform your daily walk into a divine dance. Live your life with purpose. Everything that you do should be getting you closer to the Most High Yah. If it is not, then you do not need to do it. Why waste time chasing after things that are only going to get you further from the Most High Yah? Why do that? You want to live close to him. You want to be under him. He wants you to use him as your refuge, your tower of defense. How can you do that if you're chasing everything else but him? And then blame him when things don't go your way. Doesn't make sense, does it? But you see, that takes humility. That takes accountability for you to understand that. Something that our people sorely lack, even on the bottom. You would think of people on the bottom would be the most humblest, but that is anything but the case with our people. Somehow we're more prideful than the people on the top. And so the Most High uses these trials and tribulations to try to break us down, to be humble, to remind us that you ain't nothing but dust in the ground. That just because you're a Negro don't mean you're an Israelite. You are still clay. And it's high time we start remembering this. We are but clay in the hands of the Most High Yah, who molds us to his will, not ours, his. It's time for us to get out of the driver's seat for a change. Let the Most High drive, because I guarantee you, he ain't finna drive you off a cliff. Trust in the Most High Yah, have faith in his will, and I guarantee you, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be just fine. That's what trust is all about. Leave your OCD and ADD at the door. Stop trying to be in control of everything. You are not. You are just another piece on this chessboard. You have, I know I said it. Uh-oh. They get mad at me. Most High control you. Now you can let him lead you to where he wants you to lead, or you can continue to fight. And I can guarantee you, you're going to lose that fight. So just sit back, enjoy the ride, look at the scenery, and rest in the knowledge that the Most High know what he doing. He know what he doing. He wrote the script. He know what he doing. Just sit back. Just sit back. Relax. Put your feet up. Let him drive. Let him drive. That's it. Let him drive. And your life gonna turn out the way you want it to be. So let's keep it moving. 18 through 20. Hope you guys are understanding this. I hope it's making sense. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. I hope it's taken. All right, brother.
And Jared lived 162 years, and he begot Enoch. And Jared lived after he begot Enoch 800 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died.
So here comes Jared, not just chilling, but stewarding his time until the ripe age of 162. Then boom, he brings forth Enoch. Now hold up. Enoch ain't just any of the run-of-the-mill offspring. The man's name means dedicated or initiated. This right here is a signal flare, my people. Jared is passing down more than genes. He's passing down a gauntlet of godliness. And if we go to Proverbs 22:6, it hits the nail right here on the head, affirming this. Again, that's Proverbs 22 and verse number 6.
Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
So imagine Jared schooling young Enoch, not just in walking, but in walking the path. This ain't just parenting, this is prophetic preparation. This is what you're supposed to be doing with your kids. Preparing them to be used as vessels for the Most High Yah. But yet you guys are preparing your children to be vessels of the system, this Babylonian system that is in place that keeps us subjugated and oppressed. And you see what this system does. It churns us out like butter. They don't care nothing about us or our people. They don't care. They use you and spit you out at their first convenience. So why not put them on the other team? Why not train them for the other team to be drafted by the Most High Yah and play a part of his team? Because guess what? His team gonna win. This system, their team finna lose. It's already written. They're gonna lose. So why would you set your kids up for failure when you could set them up for success? That's the question. Are you guys able to answer that question? That's a real good question. And it's why the Most High puts it here, right there. To remind you, hey, this is how I want things done. This is why we're supposed to read the book, so we know what to do. So we're not clueless when we have a kid, when you have a child. You're not just running around, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? This blueprint right here will tell you what to do. And you can do it with utmost confidence, with purpose. The Most High will give you the wisdom to take care of that child, to raise that child up, just like he did with Jared, with Seth, with Enos, with Adam, Mahalalel, Jared, all of them. Most High endowed them with the wisdom on how he wanted things to be done, and they did it. Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn. Don't drop the ball like the majority of our people do. Pick it up. Pick it up. Hold it. Cherish that ball. Don't perpetuate the same crap that the previous generation did. Be the change that you want to see. It starts with you, personal responsibility. You got to make that. You have to do it. Let the Most High guide you. He will guide you to the right choices. Trust me. This is what I want you guys to understand. This book is so much, this book is so much deeper than it looks. I didn't think this chapter was so deep. I did not know. I did not know. I'm like, hey, it's just a bunch of people being born and dying. And until the Most High said, yeah. To the average person, it looks that way. But I'm going to give you the knowledge and wisdom of what I mean when I say all these things. And look at this. Look at this. So Jared lived another 800 years after he had Enoch. And guess what he did? Have more sons and daughters. But the Most High only cared about that one. So Jared's ensuring the earth isn't merely populated, but it's permeated with progeny that is primed to praise. So Jared lived for 962 years. Boom, then he clocks out. That's it for him. But let's get this straight. His years, again, were packed with purpose, not just passed in idle pastime. He didn't just lounge around, family, looking at TV and sports and whatever, talking about nonsense. He lived every life like it was his last. And if we go to Psalm 90 and verse 12, it's going to give us this wisdom right here. Psalm 90 and verse number 12.
So teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom.
So Jared's days, again, weren't just numerous. They were nurtured in the nourishment of the Almighty's directives. The Most High wants you to take this wisdom, family. He giving it out freely. I'm not charging for you guys to hear this. I don't want no donations. He's freely giving this word out to you. This cheat code, this is cheat code. He's telling you exactly what you need to do. He's giving you a whole cheat code of how to live a life with purpose. He's giving you that. Are you going to apply your hearts into the wisdom like the Psalm says? Or are you just going to let it pass you by? So I ask, what seeds are you sowing in your seasonal stint on this soil? Are you crafting a chronicle worthy of celestial commendation like Jared? Or are you just doodling in the dust, waiting for the wind to wipe it away? Are we just aging or are we ascending? Are we merely surviving or are we scripting a saga of sanctity and significance? Let that simmer. Let it stir you up. And for heaven's sake, let it steer your steps. Because it's time to evaluate your existential inventory. Are we just biological beings bouncing around, or are we beacons burning bright with the blaze of the blessed? Chomp on that, my family, and let it fuel your fire. Are you ready to write a record that resonates with righteousness? Or will you settle for a footnote in the annals of the average? Reflect on that. Recalibrate if need be and rise to the occasion. Let's not just count our days. Again, I say, let's make our days count. So we keep it moving. 21 through 23, brother. 21 through 23.
And Enoch lived 60 and 5 years and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 360 and 5 years.
So hold up. Enoch steps on the scene at 65, and he brings Methuselah into this world. Now, Methuselah's name is a sermon by itself, meaning his death shall bring. This ain't no ordinary birth announcement, family. It's a prophetic proclamation. So Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years. And guess what he did? He had more sons and daughters, but the Most High only cared about this one. So after dropping a prophetic bomb with Methuselah, Enoch wasn't done. He walked with God for 300 more years. Walking with God doesn't mean a Sunday stroll in the park, my people. It means every step is synced up with the Savior. Every move made in the majesty of the Most High. If we go to Micah 6 and 8, it breaks it down what this walk is. So you got people saying, oh, he was walking in heaven with him. What does it mean, Micah 6 and 8?
Micah 6 and 8. He has shewed thee, O man, what is good, and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with thy God.
Walk humbly with thy God. Enoch wasn't just talking the talk. He was walking the walk, and he did it for centuries. And so in all the days of Enoch were 365 years. Woo! Enoch's timeline on this terrestrial plane wraps up at 365 years, like a divine calendar. Hello, 365 days in a year, marked with heavenly approval. But catch this, family. He didn't taste death. But I'm going to get into the death he did not taste, because there's many people out there that believe Enoch's still around. But I'm going to tell you the death he didn't taste. We're going to go through it. We're going to go through it. So Enoch's life is not just an ancient biography. It's a blueprint for the bold and the brave. Are you walking with the Most High like Enoch, or are you stumbling in the darkness looking for your spiritual spectacles? Are we aligning our steps with the statutes of the Supreme, or are we dancing to the discord of this world's desperation? Which one are y'all doing? Are you prepared to walk this walk so faithfully that the Most High has to notice? So chew on that and let it change your course. Are we mere men meandering meaninglessly, or are we mighty movers marching to the melody of the Most High Yah? Reflect on it. Regroup if necessary and realign your route. Walk with the Most High, and who knows? Maybe you won't just leave footprints, you'll leave an everlasting legacy. Let's not just exist, family. Let's elevate. So we go to the meat. Verse 24, because there's a whole lot of things going around here. And I'm just going to use scriptures to disprove Enoch was taken to heaven, because we got people that say he didn't die. But I'm going to tell you the death that the Most High is referring to in Hebrews 11:5. But let's just read the verse, brother.
Which one, 24?
24.
And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him.
So now hold your horses and let's not jump the gun here. Some of y'all have been taught in them sugar-coated Sunday schools that took him means Enoch got a first-class ticket straight to heaven, bypassing death like it's a slow walker in the supermarket aisle. But let's cut through that fairy tale with some truth here. As I told y'all before, Enoch walked with the Most High. It's not a literal stroll in the clouds, family, but Enoch was in tight, righteous alignment with the Most High's ways. His lifestyle, his decisions, his entire being was in harmony with Yah's commands. If we go to Amos 3:3, what does it say here? Again, that's Amos 3:3.
Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Can they? If you disagree with somebody, can you walk with that person? Can you? I mean, that's the question that we all need to understand. Can you walk with someone who does not agree? The answer is no, fam. It's a rhetorical question. So that's what the Most High is trying to get you to understand. Enoch was just in alignment with the will of the Most High. That's all it was. So, and it says, and he was not. Now, this phrase, he was not, gets folks all twisted up, thinking Enoch performed a Houdini act, vanished in the thin air straight into heaven. No. Let's not dip our theology in fantasy. He was not simply means Enoch was no longer found among the living on earth. He wasn't floating around. He was gone from this earthly realm. Dead as the law of sin and death will prescribe for all men, as we read already in Hebrews 9:27. Every son of Adam, including Enoch, punches that earthly clock out, one way or another. For God took him. Here's where the divine distinction comes in. God took him, doesn't whisk Enoch off to the celestial clouds. It means God took him out of this life in a manner different from others, preserving him from the usual fanfare of corruption and decay. Because as you can see what's coming up, there's a flood that's coming. If we go to Isaiah 57:1, Isaiah 57:1, this is how the Most High works sometimes. Don't do it for everybody, but he has the sovereignty to do it to anyone he wants. Isaiah 57 and verse 1, brother, what does it say?
Your favorite homie, Isaiah. The righteous perish, and no man layeth it to heart, and merciful men are taken away. None considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come.
The evil to come, because it's going to get horrible on that earth, as we're going to read in the next chapter. Most High said, I ain't going to, no. I'm just going to take you away. I don't want you to have to deal with that. Just take you away. Boom. Done. He's dead, right? Physically, gone. Well, so what's this death? Because let's go read Hebrews 11:5 real quick. Because everybody sees this word, but they don't understand what death he's talking about here. Again, Hebrews 11:5. So we can see where people are getting this idea that he ain't dead.
By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because God had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased God.
So we see this death here. What is this death? Oh my goodness. What's the death? What's the death? What's the death? Well, our Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach, he gonna tell you what kind of death he talking about here. If we go all the way over to John 11:25 and 26, this is the death that Enoch is not gonna taste, and to all who believe in Christ, who got faith. John 11:25 and 26, what does it say?
Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believeth thou this?
You hear that? He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. We all gonna die, family. Enoch dead, but he said he gonna live. What's the living part? This is spiritual. What death is Enoch gonna face? Let's go to Revelation 20. 20 and 14.
And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death.
This right here, this is the death that Enoch is not going to taste because he had faith. He believed. He's going to be a part of that first resurrection. He's going to be in the kingdom. Yes, he's dead. But his spirit will not die, will not take part in this second death here. That's the death. He gone. He's gone. Not coming back. The man dead. Let's go to Psalm 89:48. Further, reemphasizing, on this concept. Psalm 89:48.
What man is he that liveth and shall not see death? Shall he deliver his soul from the hand of the grave? Selah.
The Bible makes it crystal clear that every man will see death. No exceptions, not even for Enoch. This idea that he was exempt from death is a fairy tale spun by those who can't handle the raw truth of Scripture. Now, why is this important for you stiff-necked fools today? Because you're swallowing lies that set you up for disappointment. You think some are getting a get-out-of-debt-free card, which breeds a lazy, entitled mindset among you so-called believers. You think you'll be raptured away before crap hits the fan, living in a bubble of spiritual laziness, waiting for a free ride. Isn't that what the Christians doing? They waiting for the free ride. Oh, Most High gonna rapture us. We gonna be good. We gonna be good. It's the same thinking with Enoch. Oh, he was raptured away. If we don't believe in that rapture, why are we believing in this one? So let's see the process here. So let's go to 1 Thessalonians 4:16. It's talking about the Most High coming back, to see what happens when he comes back. Again, that's 1 Thessalonians 4:16.
For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first.
So understand this, family. The dead in Christ rise first. That means death, burial, then resurrection. Nobody's skipping the death part. Nobody's getting beamed up to dodge the hardships. Enoch did it, and neither will you. The Most High just killed him. That's all it was, man. The Most High just killed him. Just took him out. That's it. Just took him out so he didn't have to deal with all that stuff that was coming. That's all it is, fam. He can take the righteous away from the evil to come. That's exactly what he did with Enoch. But he still died, family. He gone. He dead. Just like everybody else. Adam died. Abraham gone. Moses, Aaron, all the patriarchs gone. They dead. Waiting this resurrection we just read about. So we need to cut the crap with this raptured nonsense. Enoch served his purpose, walked faithfully with God, and then he died just like every other mortal. His translation was a direct passage from life to death, not an escape from it. The Most High doesn't need to pull fancy magic tricks like in your Hollywood movies. He works through the real, the tangible, and yes, the often painful realities of life and death. That's how he refines us, tests us, and proves us. Stop looking for shortcuts and start walking the path of righteousness with the understanding that it leads through valleys, not just over mountaintops. Enoch walked with God, and his reward was a righteous end, not an escape from mortality. Get this through your thick skulls, Israel. Embrace the journey, the struggle, and the inevitable end, because that's the only path to true spiritual maturity and eventual resurrection. Stop fantasizing about bypasses and start living the damn life the Most High laid out for you, hardships included. Now go and rethink everything you thought you knew, and maybe, just maybe, you'll start getting somewhere in your walk with the Most High. Or you can keep being ignorant and see where that leads you. Your choice. Your choice. But then you have some people, this is another one, I'm here to end it all, that believe he's going to be one of the two witnesses in Revelation, along with Elijah. Those are going to be your two witnesses. But I went back through Revelation 11 because I believe the Most High wanted me to go back through that because I taught Revelation 11. And I did think there were going to be two people. I did say that in my lesson. But as I walked backwards and I looked back on it again with fresh eyes, with more wisdom, with more knowledge and understanding than I had when I did the lesson, I found out something profound. The two witnesses, they're not two people. I'm going to show you what the two witnesses mean. Revelation is full of symbolism. The entire book is dripping with it. You cannot look at it literally, because if you do, you're going to be lost. It's not a literal storybook for our feeble brains to take at face value. The second you start treating it like some straightforward fairy tale, you've already missed the entire point. So let's go to Revelation 11, 3 and 4. We're going to redo this real quick. Now I'm going to show you what the two witnesses is. Again, Revelation 11, 3 through 4.
And I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the two olive trees and the two candlesticks standing before the God of the earth.
See what's happening here? John is using heavy symbolism to represent something much deeper than just two dudes running around in burlap sacks. But of course, our pea-brain comprehension stops at that surface level. So let me break it down for you. These two witnesses ain't literal people. That's what I thought when I read it. They represent what? The fullness of both kingdoms, Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom, two witnesses. They are standing as a testimony to the world before the Most High's return. Aren't we starting to see that right now? We waking up. Isn't the world starting to see this? So let's go and see Jeremiah 31 and 6. Watch this. Jeremiah 31 and 6.
Well, there shall be a day that the watchmen upon the Mount Ephraim shall cry, Arise ye, and let us go up to Zion unto the Lord our God.
You see that? Ephraim, Northern Kingdom, and Zion, Southern Kingdom, Judah, together, unified, under the Most High. That's what those two witnesses symbolize, the restoration of all Israel. And we lead up to that. Ezekiel 37, 16 and 17. Let's go read this to put another piece in the puzzle for these two witnesses. Ezekiel 37, 16 through 17. What does it say?
One of my favorite books.
Yes, sir.
When Jeremiah was entered into the dungeon. And
no, not this one. No. Ezekiel 37.
Oh, my fault. I'm in Jeremiah. Son of a bitch. You say 16, 17?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. And join them one to another in the one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand.
So the prophet is literally showing you that the two split kingdoms will be rejoined as one in the last days before the Messiah returns. We're starting to see that happening right now as we're waking up. That's the deeper meaning behind those two witnesses. Not the childish fantasies about Enoch and Elijah morphing into Marvel superheroes. No, sir. No. So let me be crystal clear. Enoch did his job and then died like any other mortal. Same with Elijah later on. To even suggest they'll reappear as individuals is just demonstrating how utterly clueless we are about the nature of Scripture. If we read it in a literal form, instead of looking at the symbology behind it, because that's how the Most High communicates in symbols and parables, mysteries. So we got to unlock the mysteries. This is not a straightforward book. You got to do some digging. So those witnesses represent the restoration of the entire Israelite nation, Judah, Ephraim, coming back together as a unified kingdom under Christ, the Messiah. It's symbolic of our people finally shedding our disobedience, our scattering, our ignorance of the true gospel, and stepping into our divine calling as the manifested united nation of Israel. So we got to wake up, family. We got to get our minds out of the bedtime story gutter. This is a profound prophetic imagery depicting the biggest event in our history since the reign of Kings David and Solomon. It's about our complete redemption and dominion, not some lame sideshow with dead prophets pulling Chris Angel stunts. So we got to either wrap our brains around the weightiness of this or just admit that we are too spiritually infantile to handle the deep, powerful mysteries contained in the Most High's word. I'm trying to elevate your perspectives here, but if you insist on staying ignorant, that is on you. So the choice is on you. Man up and embrace the full symbolic reality being proclaimed through these two witnesses, or stay lost in dumbed down fairy tales meant for babies. I've laid it all out. The truth is there. If you're ready to be grown, instead of little children being spoon-fed skim milk. The path to maturity is tough, but it's the only way we'll ever step into our destiny as the united, restored nation of kings that the Most High intended. So grow up or stay stunted. It's on you now. No more excuses. That's all I'm going to say on that. So we keep it moving, and let's go to 25 to 27.
And Methuselah lived 187 years and begat Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begat Lamech 782 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died.
He gone now. So now before we skim through, like it's some old tax record here, let's get into the meat of it. The name itself, Methuselah. Sounds like a name you respect just on the sound of it, right? But let's break it down here. So his name, commonly understood, to mean man of the dark. But oh, there's more, much more. It's said that his name is a prophecy, pointing to the judgment to come. The flood, that great deluge, came in the very year Methuselah died. Woo! Boom! Mind blown. Mind blown. He was a countdown, a prophetic countdown to the flood. So think about it. Every year he lived was like a countdown, a cataclysm, a divine timer set by the lifespan of one man. Didn't I tell y'all before that the Most High used us? We the clocks. We are the divine clocks of this world to show when things are about to happen. Look at Methuselah. Hello. So if we go over to Genesis 6 and 3 here, for this scripture, to see about this deadline here that the Most High gave. Again, that's Genesis 6 and verse number 3.
And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years.
So this scripture here sets the stage, giving humanity a deadline, a divine ultimatum, if you will. And Methuselah's life was ticking down to that very moment. So Methuselah here holds the record for the longest human lifespan in the Bible, 969 years. This wasn't just to make him an entry in the divine Guinness book. No. It was a testament to the Most High's patience in the extended period of grace that was given to mankind to repent at that time. Each year he lived was a mercy stroke from the Most High Yah, a pause in the coming judgment. How do we see this mercy? Well, if we go over to 2 Peter 3 and 9, it'll show you about the mercy of the Most High Yah. Again, that is 2 Peter chapter 3 in verse number 9.
The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
So Methuselah's exceptionally long life symbolizes the Most High's slow-to-anger character and his desire for as many as possible to turn from their wicked ways. But as we all know, only 8. Only 8 would actually heed that call. But even with such an extended grace period, the inevitable comes. Methuselah death marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new tumultuous chapter for humanity at that time. For this seed line here, his death was not just a familial loss, but a prophetic marker heralding the flood and a dramatic reset of creation's corruption. So let's get it real. Methuselah's life and name teach us about the Most High's grace and our response to it. His name, carrying the weight of impending judgment, reminds us that while the Most High is slow to anger, the deadline for repentance does exist, which is why I always harp on it. Every day he lived was another chance for the people around him to get right with Yah. So what are you doing with the time you've been given? Are you living like Methuselah, a walking testament to Yah's patience? Or are you squandering your days, ignorant of the ticking clock of divine grace? Don't wait for the Methuselah moment to realize time's up. Live now. Repent now. Turn your heart toward Yah now. Because like in Methuselah's time, we don't know when the floodgates of judgment might open. So think on that, family. Let Methuselah's centuries inspire centuries of wisdom in your life starting today. Walk wisely, for your days are numbered. So as we keep it going, we're going to read 28 to 31. Almost done, fam. Almost done.
And Lamech lived 182 years and begat a son. And he called his name Noah, saying, this same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died.
Y'all see that? You see the curse that he's talking about. If we go back to Genesis 3 and 17, we'll see what curse he's talking about here. How the ground was cursed. Again, Genesis 3 and 17, to go back and see what caused the ground to be cursed.
And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree, of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it, cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
So this is what Lamech is talking about. That Noah should bring comfort. So when Lamech names his son Noah, which means rest or comfort, he's not just picking names out of a hat. He's dropping a divine hint. And what is that hint? He prophesied that Noah will be the brother who brings relief from the cursed labor and toil that had been breaking the backs of Adam's descendants since the garden got locked up, as we just read. The earth was tough. Life was rough. And here comes Noah, marked as the comforter. Now look at Lamech's age, 777. Now don't just skim over these numbers, family. Lamech's lifespan, 777. It's like the jackpot number on a slot machine, but in biblical terms. But what does that mean, though? It's the number of completion, of perfection. Lamech's life wasn't just long. It was a signpost of the Most High's perfect timing leading up to the flood. His years were a preparation period for what? The pivotal salvation event of humanity through Noah's Ark. And we can read about this, about judgment always being on schedule, if we go to Jude chapter 1, 14 and 15. Again, that's Jude chapter 1, verses 14 and 15.
And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and all of their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him.
So as I said, this scripture reminds us that judgment is always on schedule. In Lamech's life leading up to Noah is a critical countdown to that divine judgment that we're going to read about next week. So the legacy of Lamech here is a prelude to salvation. And the real kicker here is not just who Lamech was, but who he fathered and what that meant for us. His life and lineage set the stage for Noah, the man who would literally float above judgment, preserving the seed of humanity and animal life, prepping the world for a reboot. It's like hitting the reset button on the world going wild. And we're going to read more about Noah's significance next week. So Lamech's declaration about Noah wasn't just fatherly pride, it was prophetic insight. He saw in his son the future of mankind's deliverance from a cursed existence. But on top of that, it was a preservation for Israel, because through Noah and his son Shem is what we descended from. So he had to make sure Noah was going to live. And guess what? That's the kind of vision we need to have today. Looking forward, seeing the potential for deliverance and comfort in our own lives, despite the curses we face daily. So my people, ask yourselves this. Are you seeing the signs? Are you preparing for your own deliverance? Or are you just toiling away, blind to the comfort that's promised to us through faith and obedience? Don't miss the signs like many. Be the comforted. Be the visionary. Be the faithful. Remember, every day counts, and every generation has its Noah. Maybe it's you. So keep your eyes on the prize. And let the story of Lamech inspire you to endure, to hope, and to rise above the curses of life. And we end it with the last verse, number 32.
And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
But it's the last one. Last one, the guy. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. These are going to be the three boys where all the earth is going to be replenished. Replenished. Are y'all ready for that? Are y'all ready to be replenished? So let's put some spirit on this. It might look simple, just a little birth announcement like something you see on the fridge magnet. But believe me, it's packed with more flavor than grandma's seasoning. And boy, let me tell you, my grandma knew how to cook, boy. But anywho, Noah's age, 500 years. Now, Noah was no spring chicken when he started having his boys. 500 years old. That's not just old, that's ancient with a capital A. But here's the kicker. This shows us the patience and the timing of the Most High. Noah wasn't rushing. He was mature, seasoned, and prepared. This man was about to undertake the building of the ark and saving critters 2 by 2. Not a job for the faint-hearted or the inexperienced. So just as we read with 2 Peter 3 and 9 here, we see how the timeline of the Most High is not like ours. Noah's 500 years prep time is nothing but a blip, a mere moment for the Most High's plan to unfold. How do we know about this? Well, if we go to 2 Peter 3 in verse 8, we read the verse above 9, so you'll be able to see it. Again, 2 Peter 3 in verse 8 this time.
But, beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day.
So as you can see, the Most High's time is not like ours. 500 years, that ain't nothing to the Most High to do what he had to do with Noah. So who are these brothers? Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Each one of these names isn't just a boy being born. It's a whole future nation kicking off. Shem, the forefather of the Shemitic peoples, including our very own Hebrew line. Ham, whose descendants will go to populate Africa and parts of the so-called Middle East today. And Japheth spreading out all over Europe and parts of Asia. These three are not just sons, they're the starting lineup for humanity's post-flood reboot. And we can see that if we go to Genesis 10 and 1. And that'll affirm everything I just said. Genesis 10 and 1.
Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and unto them were sons born after the flood.
This right here shows you the spread, the diversity in the plan. From these three come nations, cultures, conflicts, and the continuation of the human saga, but importantly for Israel. So Noah stepping in the fatherhood at 500 symbolizes the readiness and the weight of responsibility, something that our men do not want to take today. He wasn't just bringing kids into the world. He was about to bring a new world into existence post-flood. Each son represents a branch of humanity's tree that would have to flourish in a world washed clean of wickedness. So Noah's age and his sons are a divine setup. It's like the pregame show before the main event. The flood ain't just a cleansing, it's a complete reset. And Noah's family is central to this divine drama. So what's the takeaway for us, the chosen people? It's all about divine timing, family, and readiness. Are you ready? Are you prepared to fulfill your role, no matter how long it takes? Noah was 500 years in the making, and when his time came, he was ready to roll. Are you? Don't rush your growth. Don't force your path. Be like Noah, mature in your faith, steady in your walk, and ready to build whatever ark the Most High calls you to build. Be patient. Be prepared. And when your time comes, be ready to act. Just like Noah. Remember, it's not about how fast you start, but how ready you are when your number is called. Now go forth, be fruitful in wisdom, and multiply in understanding. Stay blessed and always ready for your call to action. And with that, I end my sermon. All praises and great glory to the Most High Yah for giving me the wisdom, knowledge, understanding to bestow upon your ears today. I pray you guys were spiritually edified as always. Until the next time, shalom.